there is a lie that we have all bought into. We see a woman who seems to have it all, the thriving career, the peaceful home, the effortless health, and we tell ourselves that she is just lucky, or worse. We tell ourselves that if we were just a little more organized, we could have all of that too, without ever feeling the struggle. But here's the truth that no one posts on social media. Growth is expensive. It is not paid for with money, but with the currency of your comfort, your ego, and your time. Everything you admire in another person was paid for with a tuition that most people are simply unwilling to pay. Are you ready to stop looking for a discount on your dreams? Welcome back to the Daily Better. I am so glad you are here for this conversation. In our last episode, we talked about being gentle with our timelines. But today, we need to talk about the other side of that coin. We need to talk about grit. If you are between 25 and 35, you are in the building phase of your life. And in this phase, you will constantly hit a wall. You will feel tired. You will feel like you are failing, and you will wonder why it has to be this hard. Today, I want to change your perspective on that struggle. I want you to stop seeing hard as a sign that you are doing something wrong. Instead, I want you to see it as the tuition fee for the life you want to lead. We live in the era of the overnight success. We see the finished product, the polished website, the promotion, the perfect balance, and we assume the journey was a straight line. Because of this, when we encounter friction, we think something is broken. Think about the most impressive woman you know in your industry. When you look at her, you see her impact. But what you don't see is her investment. You don't see the years she spent being the least important person in the room. You don't see the thousands of hours she spent doing the boring, repetitive work that no one clapped for. She didn't get there by staying comfortable. She got there by choosing to be uncomfortable long before she was successful. Success is a trade. To get something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. And to do something you've never done, you have to be willing to look stupid, to feel clumsy, and to be exhausted. That is the tuition. There are no scholarships for excellence. Everyone has to pay full price. The biggest obstacle for women in our 30s isn't a lack of talent. It is a biological and psychological addiction to comfort. We want the promotion, but we don't want the stress of managing a difficult team. We want the healthy body, but we don't want the sacrifice of waking up an hour earlier to move. We want the deep, meaningful life, but we don't want to give up the mindless scrolling that numbs our brains at the end of the day. But here is the law of the universe. You cannot keep your current comforts and reach your future goals at the same time. Imagine you are moving to a new house. Your new house is beautiful, spacious, and full of light. But your old house is full of old furniture things that are broken. Things that don't fit your style anymore, but things that feel safe. You cannot move into the new house if you insist on dragging every single piece of old, broken furniture with you. There simply isn't room. Growth is the process of deciding what you are willing to leave behind. Are you willing to trade the comfort of being liked by everyone for the respect of being a leader? Are you willing to trade the safety of a predictable job for the uncertainty of a new venture? If you aren't feeling some level of sacrifice right now, you aren't growing. You are just maintaining. And maintenance doesn't lead to a breakthrough. For many high-achieving women, the hardest tuition to pay is the tuition of incompetence. By the time we hit 30, we are used to being good at things. We know our jobs. We know our routines. We like feeling like an expert. But when we try to reach a new level, we are forced to be bad at something again. This is where most people quit. They hit the beginner's wall. They feel the embarrassment of making a mistake. They feel the sting of criticism. And instead of saying, "This is the price of learning," they say, "I'm not cut out for this." Think about a scientist. A scientist doesn't call a failed experiment a failure. They call it data. They know that every no from the universe is just the tuition they have to pay to find the one yes. If you want to create a real footprint in your career, you have to be willing to be the student. You have to be willing to ask the dumb questions. The person who is willing to look like a fool for a year is the one who becomes a master for a lifetime. We often think of success as something we get, a title, a house, or a number in a bank account. But success is actually something you become. The tuition you pay today isn't just to get the result. It is to build the character of the woman who can handle that result. If you were given your dream life tomorrow, the massive responsibility, the public attention, the complex challenges without having paid the tuition of the struggle, it would crush you. The struggle is where your muscles are built. The late nights are where your stamina is developed. The difficult clients are where your patience is refined. The financial tight spots are where your creativity is forced to wake up. Do not resent the hard days. Those days are the gym for your soul. Every time you choose to stay focused when you are tired, you are putting a deposit into the character bank. And that character is the only thing that will keep you successful once you get there. What does it mean to create a substantial mark on the world? It means doing something that lasts longer than a social media post. It means building something that actually solves a problem or helps a person. And that kind of impact requires immersion. You cannot make a real impact with 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You have to dantan. You have to throw your whole self into the fire of your goals. In your 30s, there is a lot of noise telling you to balance everything perfectly. But let's be honest, greatness is rarely balanced. Greatness requires seasons of intense focus. It requires seasons where you say no to 100 good things so you can say yes to one great thing. This might mean missing a few parties. It might mean being misunderstood by people who don't share your vision. This is the social tuition of success. If you are afraid of being judged, you will always be stuck at the level of the people who are judging you. Real progress happens when you stop asking, "What is the easiest way?" and start asking, "What is the most meaningful way?" We often feel like we are sacrificing for our work or our family. But I want you to look at it differently. You are paying a debt to yourself. Inside you, there is a version of you that is more capable, more confident, and more impactful than you are today. That version of you is waiting. But she is waiting for you to pay the tuition to set her free. Every time you choose to do the hard work instead of taking the easy path, you are paying that debt. You are telling yourself, "I believe in my future enough to endure this discomfort today." This is the ultimate form of self-love. It isn't just bubble baths and face masks. Those are fine for maintenance. But real self-love is being a strict enough teacher to yourself that you don't let your talent go to waste. It is pushing yourself because you know you are worth the effort. The tuition of excellence is too big to pay all at once. You pay it in small, daily installments. It's the choice to read a book for 30 minutes instead of watching TV. It's the choice to practice your pitch one more time instead of going to bed. It's the choice to be honest about your mistakes instead of hiding them. These small payments don't feel like much in the moment. In fact, they often feel boring. But they compound. After a year, or 5 years, or 10 years, you wake up and realize that you have paid for a life that most people only dream of. You have created a footprint. You have built something real, and because you paid the full price, no one can ever take it away from you. You didn't find it at a discount. You earned it. As we finish today's episode of The Daily Better, I want you to look at the biggest challenge in your life right now. The thing that makes you want to quit. The thing that feels too hard. Stop fighting the feeling of hard. Instead, I want you to say to yourself, "This is the tuition, and I am willing to pay it." Accept the discomfort. Embrace the sacrifice. Understand that the burn you feel in your mind and your heart is the feeling of your future self coming to life. Don't settle for a life that is merely comfortable. Comfort is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Choose the path of the tuition. Choose the path of immersion. Choose to pay the price today so that you can create a mark that lasts. Because you are not here to just get through the day. You are here to build something that matters. Pay the price, do the work, and I will see you in the next episode.